Welcome to Injustice Media. I'm your host, Jamal Thomas, aka Gucci J. Too many stories go unheard, so we're going to get into this one. Eleanor Williams lying about being raped and putting men in prison while innocent. Let's go.
It is an extraordinary story, a story which left a town shaken to its core, not knowing what or who to believe. And it began with this Facebook post.
I think this is the hardest post I'm ever going to write. I didn't want to share this because I'm scared of the judgment that will come with it. People need to be looking out for young girls and protecting them.
Alongside the graphic photos, Ellie Williams claimed she was being raped, tortured and exploited at the hands of an Asian grooming gang.
Look how dangerous this is and how racist this is. Miss Williams lying about rape, stating that she was raped by a grooming Asian gang. Dirty lies, what put people into prison. Disgusting, man.
Pictures of Ellie Williams, her young face and body covered in scars and bruises, were like a grenade thrown into the middle of this town. Barrow was torn in two, divided between the people who believed Ellie had been a victim of an Asian grooming gang and those who felt it was an elaborate racist lie. There were protests on the street, dark conspiracies online, a community profoundly damaged, its scars yet to heal. The day after the pictures were posted, there was an arrest, but it wasn't of any alleged attackers. It was of 19-year-old Ellie herself. Police said she'd broken bail conditions, having previously been arrested for perverting the course of justice.
Look at the lengths she's gone. Look what she's done to her face to get her attention. The lengths she went to make up these false allegations of rape. Not even false allegations, lies. That's what I'm saying. Dangerous. This is why men has to be careful with women that you meet. You know what I mean? It can destroy your lives. So you have to always talk to like your kids, your nephews, uncles, cousins, family members. Because this woman's dangerous.
The same day, in a highly unusual move, the police then issued this statement.
What I would say is, when the question is asked, is there an organised gang of Asian men in Barrow conducting abuse or otherwise exploitation against individuals?
Clear this up. There weren't no grooming. There weren't no Asian men. That's just racist. You know what I mean? Using it as an excuse. You get me? She's lied about rape. She's not a victim. She's a liar. She should be prosecuted and lifed off. You get me? That's dangerous, disgusting, tramp.
Our investigation has shown that has not been corroborated with otherwise evidence.
Chatting rubbish because you remanded someone in prison and you falsely accused two other people, you know what I mean, what have been arrested and put on bail. So it took you like 3 attempts, you get me, 3 different allegations, 3 different arrests for you to investigate and look into her when you could have, at the first instant, stop it. Please make me sick, man.
If the intention was to reassure the town, to calm its sense of shock, it resolutely and very publicly failed.
Obviously, it's gonna fail. Cause obviously, like a lot of racist people and a lot of people what don't like people of color are gonna come out and use that as fire to, you know what I mean, stir up hate and that. And this is all because of this woman lying and the police as well not doing their jobs properly, like always.
Far-right activist Tommy Robinson arrives to investigate the claims of Asian gangs grooming young girls.
And then obviously this story by this Ellie girl has blew it up, and the fact that she's been remanded. There's so much to it.
In the months that follow, resentment and anger festers on all sides.
Look how much people's come out with a lot of energy for lies. You know what I mean? I don't know if they know or don't know, but it's just crazy. You know what I mean? This is the power of lies and allegations of rape. This is how, you know what I mean? It weaponizes everything. It's mad.
Asian businesses are terrorized. A local newspaper reporter is forced to go into hiding. But the questions which have so bitterly divided the town are resolved in the most dramatic way. At court, a raft of damning evidence showing Ellie Williams has made up the whole story. Here she is on CCTV footage, calmly booking herself into a hotel in Blackpool, supposedly at the time she'd been trafficked there. Here she is buying
Traffic there, apparently.
snacks in a local shop. And here, perhaps the most extraordinary piece of evidence. Ellie buys a hammer, which the jury are told she uses.
She's brought a hammer. How much evidence do you want that she's lying? You know what I mean? You got people protesting, going crazy, people saying she shouldn't be in jail, but you got evidence of her buying a hammer. What does she need a hammer for? Why is she buying a hammer? Someone please tell me why this woman's buying a hammer. It's mad.
To inflict horrific injuries on herself. Ellie Williams was convicted of 9 charges of perverting the course of justice and today sentenced to 8.5 years in jail.
There is no
9 accounts of perverting the course of justice, and they only got 9 years in jail. So you got a year for each one. Them 3 guys, falsely been accused, they would have got slammed. They would have got like 9 to 10 minimum. 15, 13 years each. You know what I mean? And she only got 9 years. I'm saying, man, the system corrupt, man.
explanation for why the defendant would commit these offences. She has gone to extraordinary lengths to create false accusations, including causing herself significant injury.
A brief statement from Ellie herself was read out in court. "I'm not saying I'm guilty," she said, "but I know that I have done wrong on some of this."
Of course you're guilty. Is she okay in the head? She's got 9 years. She's going to serve for 6 months. Probably do courses. Probably get out in like 2 years. It's mad. Probably even get out. You got that 40% and everything. Probably get out earlier than that.
So I'm sorry. Outside the court, the question, would that be enough for the men Ellie Williams accused of rape and exploitation?
I feel no sense of triumph, only sadness for the loss of the years, the impact on my family, here we are, and the true impact that this will have on true victims. That's the loss here.
Mr. Ramzan says he's now supporting Jordan Trengove, who spent 10 weeks in jail after Ellie accused him of rape. Both say they tried to take their own lives because
See what this woman's done. So it took for the young lad to be arrested and falsely accused for the police to then do their job after 3 different allegations. Disgusting, man.
because of the stress. If you were able to say anything to Ellie Williams today, what would you say?
Why? I want to know why you have done this to us. And I'd love to know why, because she's not only done it to me and Mo, she's done it to our families, and there's innocent children and kids involved in our families along with that. And she's destroyed their lives as long with ours.
The impact on the town as a whole has been almost as devastating. Police say the protests were the biggest in decades. Scores of hate crimes have been reported. Simon Fell, the local Conservative MP, says even though Ellie is clearly a damaged young woman, It's right that she should pay for the damage she has done.
No one does that to themselves if they're well. If they're in a good state of mind, if they're in a happy setup around them, then they just simply don't do that. So there's something that's gone on there. She is clearly a victim of something.
Are you right in the head? She's clearly a victim of something. Okay, if someone murdered someone or someone raped someone, there was damning evidence like CCTV, DNA, witnesses, all the above. Would you say that? Let's go back. Hear what he's saying. Moving mad. Would you say this?
No one does that to themselves if they're well. If they're in a good state of mind, if they're in a happy setup around them, then they just simply don't do that. So there's something that's gone on there. She is clearly a victim of.
She's clearly a victim. How is she clearly a victim if she's lied about rape and got men put in prison, destroyed their life, messed up their relationship, and now you're saying she's the victim? She's clearly a victim somehow. She's a criminal, buddy. You're mad. Moving mad.
Something.
In terms of the legacy Barrow has been left with after this, how would you describe that?
We've been left with a permanent far-right presence in the community. We didn't have one before. Occasionally they'd stop in and do a protest, but that was it. But now, we have regular events with Patriotic Alternative, it is, who turn up, spread leaflets of hate through people's letterboxes, and it's really ugly.
For Ellie Williams' mother, it's a devastating verdict. The court has decided she is a liar about really serious things.
Yeah, that's correct. And in the eyes of the law, I've got to follow that verdict and accept that. So
as Ellie begins to pay the price.
Right, her mum, God, she didn't lie. She didn't make up excuses. You get me? She acknowledges that her daughter is a liar and lied and made false allegations of rape and assault and got innocent men put in prison. At least you can tell the truth and not make up excuse saying she's a victim and all this nonsense.
Price for lying about exploitation, the court says never happens. Alison can only sit and wait for her young daughter to come home.
She's a happy little thing. And so I miss that. I miss that energy in the house and her being here. But she'll be back again at some point. So we just got to look forward to that time.
But
obviously it's her daughter, innit? She's gave birth to her, she's brought her up in it, and then obviously she's gone down this path and made lies, so she's gonna be upset in it. She's gonna wish she never done that. But obviously I read her mum said, yeah, she lied, you get me, she put innocent man in jail. She didn't like try to protect her or make up excuses. She told the truth, you get me? And this politician chatting shit, bare nonsense, saying, oh, she's a victim. They say, what you on about? She's a victim. She put man in jail with lies, destroyed man's life. Come on, man. Fix up.
As she waits, Barrow itself must rebuild a community torn in two by the lies of one young woman.
So I'm saying, like, people need to stop defending women what lie about rape, domestic violence, assault. You get me? Because you're putting people's lives in jeopardy and you're destroying everything. You get me? It's just mad. But yeah, man, that's our first live reaction on Eleanor Williams. We're gonna look more into this case. Thanks for taking the time to listen and view. Make sure you like and describe. See you next time.